As this investigation does continue, we will also note that that tributes and condolences are pouring in from across the country. And Republican Congressman from Utah, Mike Kennedy, joins us now. Congressman Kennedy, thank you for being with us on this day. What are your thoughts?
Nancy, I'm really sad that we have to be together to talk about this tragic event, but I'll just say to you, violence will not silence Charlie Kirk nor his message, and will not silence the mighty people of the United States of America. And we will rise up and continue to do the vital work that needs to be done. And God bless Charlie Kirk's family, his wife, Erica, his children. And there were a number of young people at this event. God bless them as well in this tragic time.
Congressman Kennedy, what did Charlie Kirk mean to the conservative movement?
Charlie Kirk continued to push forward in spite of threats. He was a seasoned veteran at vigorously debating in a civil fashion the issues of the day. And that's why we will not stand down. Myself, I take inspiration from the fact that he continued, in spite of threats to his life that have occurred over time, that he continued to push his message forward. The United States of America and the Constitution promote free speech and the opportunity for all people, especially with political speech, to be able to speak their mind on the issues of the day. Charlie Kirk did that, and his voice will continue to be heard. This tragic episode by this filthy assassin who committed this event will not silence his voice, and it will not silence the good people of the United States of America. And I stand with my Democrat and Republican colleagues, with Speaker Johnson, Leader Thune, and President Trump. We will continue to move forward to do the work of the American people in spite of these violent efforts to shut down the opportunities for our citizens to speak freely on the issues of the day.
And Congressman Kennedy, I can imagine this hits particularly close to home, given that it did happen in your state. What goes on in your mind when you first heard that news come in?
It's in my state and it's in my district. This place is just a few minutes from my house. And I know people that were there at that event. And I know that this does not represent Utah nor its citizens. And this institution is an outstanding institution full of great professors as well as students. And it's a tragic event that they had to witness. But I know we can all learn from this event as far as this will not intimidate us. As a state senator, I've had my house vandalized. I've had death threats against me. I know my congressional colleagues, some of them have had death threats as well against them. But we continue to do the work here in Washington, D.C. And I know my friends, my colleagues, the neighbors, they will continue to do their work to promote the opportunities that we have here in the United States of America. And violence will not intimidate us, and violence will not silence the voices of our good people.
Congressman Mike Kennedy, thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.